All right, friend, just T-Man, and we're back with a new video on our good friend here, Mark Lobliner from Tiger Fitness. Mark Lobliner. He's doing a video, so I'm going to react to Lobliner's video, this gym lifting, recruiting, fitness gear slave himself. He talks about, Lobliner says, Tiger Fitness, Yohimbine HCL, spot, reduce fat, and better erections. I don't know about, I heard something about this before. It can help you lose fat, but there's no direct evidence that Yohimbine, which is a derivative of Yohimbe bark, because I know this because he probably doesn't even know that. I know this because I've been there. I've been there. I understand what the shit is. So it constricts blood in, if you use it for weightlifting, it constricts blood in the muscle in that area, the area that you're working. That's all it does is constrict blood there. You don't want that. Actually, you could have you could have health problems doing this. Taking Yohimbe bark. Also, they use it for erections, is what they used it for. People have trouble with erections. That's what they gave it to them for. I thought they took it off the market, but guess what? You could still buy Yohimbe bark. Instead of this so-called Yohimbine HCL, you could buy Yohimbe bark because I think it's a kind of a crystalline form. They formed it in a crystalline to make Yohimbine HCL. But you buy it as a Yohimbe bark because that's what it originally is. I can prove it. But anyways, let's listen to him. Boo.
What's up, everyone? Mark Lobliner, TigerFitness.com. Today I'm going to talk about a supplement that helps you spot reduce fat. I'm not making that claim.
No, man, it doesn't. It doesn't work. It's not true. It doesn't, man. Science will tell you it doesn't really spot reduce. It constricts blood in a particular area, like if you're working out. That's all it does. Doesn't do anything. Doesn't build muscle. Doesn't make you stronger, build muscle. Doesn't do any of that.
But it does help you spot reduce fat when used in conjunction.
See, so now he has to come up with, well, it doesn't do any of these other things, but it does spot reduce. How does it spot reduce? It got like special powers. It doesn't spot reduce. He's making this shit up, man.
With a hypocaloric diet means you're taking in less calories than you're burning. So
here, look, I'll show you where you get this product. You can get it at health food stores again because they sell it, but they're not. They took it off a long time ago, but I don't know. All right, there we go. Yohimbe bark, healthy planet. Okay, it's a health food store where I live. There, Yohimbe bark. This one is 1223, 135 milligrams, 660 capsules, 2,000 whatever, some liquid stuff. Look at this one, 500 milligrams, 90 capsules for $10. That's even better. Yeah, see, Men's Health, Yohimbe bark. Yeah, Yohimbe bark. So you don't need to buy his product, this bullshit, because the truth is, look.
According to National Center for Complementary and Integrative Health, National Institutes of Health, Yohimbe is an evergreen tree native to Central and Western Africa. It has a compound called yohimbine in its bark. The bark has been used traditionally as an aphrodisiac and to enhance sexual performance.
So, exactly. So what is he talking about? It can spot reduce. It's to enhance sexual performance, so they say. It constricts blood in that area. That's what it does. So I really, and it can help some health problems. I don't want to get into that, okay? Let's go back to the video, because, yeah, it's just more bullshit by Lobliner and these people.
Diet means you're taking in less calories than you're burning, so it helps to liberate that fat, and also helps if you're a male. Females can take it.
Yeah, if you take low calories, then yeah, you're definitely going to lose fat. Well, it has nothing to do with taking Yohimbine.
With erection quality, and also has been shown in actual human studies to help treat or cure. Well, meaning that they didn't get boners and then they were able to get boners in layman's terms. Let's talk about Yohimbine HCL. I have been a fan of this since the early 2000s, and I have not changed.
I've never been a fan of it. I don't know. Look, man, I bought some back in, I think it was 1990 or 89 or 1990 when I heard about it. Because, people back then, I told you, people were looking for every supplement, thinking that a supplement is going to build a muscle, and supplements do not build muscles. You have to have damage. The supplement can aid, but it itself cannot damage the muscle for you, and then the muscle builds. Get it? So there you go. Supplements do not damage muscles for you. They don't have special hands. They're not going to exercise for you or do anything like that. But they can aid. But as far as this stuff, man, that's ridiculous. It just constricts blood in that area. That's what it does, really. Now, if you can't get an erection, then how is it supposed to constrict blood there? See what I mean? Don't you first have to get the erection to get the blood to constrict there so it can stay hard. That's the problem. It's like what they used there for lifting. They would pump themselves up, right, with blood in that area. You like press a weight, right, pump some blood in that area, and then it would constrict that blood in that area, which is kind of stupid, but whatever. And they thought that that would build a muscle. This is not going to build a muscle, bro. Get it? Unless there's no damage. There's no damage, no muscle.
I have not changed. We have it in stock at tigerfitness.com. This is my brand, which means you can trust it's exactly what's on the label.
Yeah.
One issue with Yohimbine is the dosing is very small. It's
Mike, Greg Doucette will be on this like hotcakes, Yohimbine. See, the thing with Greg Doucette, he's a little younger. He wasn't really around at that time when these things were really popular in the beginning. I'd say around the 80s and 90s, these things were really popular, but Greg Doucette, he's a 2000 guy, from the year 2000 kind of guy taking off. Not to say he didn't lift in the 90s. He did. There's some lifting he did. But as far as these supplements, they were kind of very popular late 80s, early 90s. And then they kind of like, I don't know, they were kind of like fizzing out, fading out.
2.5 milligrams per cap. That's very small. And there's a lot of dosing issues with companies that put out bunk product. Obviously, you can trust me and my brand. Let's talk about Yohimbine. First, I'm going to talk about fat loss. I'm going to tell you how it works. Okay, I'm going to tell you the receptors. I'm not getting too sciencey with it, but when I take something, I want to know what is the pathway it is working on.
Okay.
Why is this happening? So let's go into it.
Yes, why is this happening? Why?
Yohimbine works on the alpha receptors. Those are the receptors that inhibit.
I already know the receptors that it works on. I think it's called ando something 2 receptor. But whatever, man. So what?
Fat breakdown. So wherever they're abundant, you have a harder time losing fat in the area. For example, they're in high concentration in men's lower back. Generally speaking, people differ, right? And abs and women's hips and thighs. Hence the reason why men have beer guts and women have badonkadonks, right? Okay. Yohimbine acts as an alpha receptor blocker. Since alpha receptor.
All right, let's see if this Yohimbine HCl, what he's talking about. Spot reduce. I don't know. Yohimbine also inhibits the activity of alpha-2 receptors on fat cells. Okay. Where neuropinephrine, whatever, normally acts to suppress fat release. Inhibition of the antilipolytic effect of neuropinephrine, whatever, allows more lipolysis fat burning to occur. Okay, all right. So Yohimbi would have the same effect, Yohimbi bar, because it's the same thing as Yohimbine. I just personally, I don't know. I don't know. I wouldn't use it, but whatever. I don't know, man. Whatever. He's gonna promote this, anyways. Here, let me see. Side effects and uses. Promote fat loss. Does Yohimbine promote fat loss? Okay, yeah, whatever.
According to examine.com, Yohimbine is a stimulatory compound that primarily acts on the alpha-2 adrenergic receptors in the body. It's best known for its ability to increase fat burning, lipolysis, and aid in male sexual dysfunction.
Well, there you go. There you have it. Lobliner jumped on the wagon, I guess.
Receptors inhibit fat breakdown. Yohimbine inhibits the alpha receptors. The net result is that you get an increase in fat breakdown. Hence, spot reducing. It doesn't spot reduce, but if you're going to lose fat, it's more likely to break it down from areas it normally wouldn't break it down from. So you can't miss me on that claim.
Okay. I mean, yeah, okay. I don't know how they ran these tests, but okay, yeah, whatever.
I don't want people like, Mark claimed that they're spot reduced, crunches, abs, fat.
Parenting is hard enough. Let's make storage easy.
Thus, you get a significant increase in fat breakdown.
Yeah, so everybody's gonna like run out and buy this stuff now because like, oh look, it'll remove this fat, but guess what? It can't remove things. It can't remove your slave food diet that you keep eating that's causing it. You get it? You may take the supplement and continue in your behavior. That doesn't mean it's gonna work.
Directly from an area that normally is the hardest place to lose it from. That is one reason why I always have my clients use this pre-contest. Now, so based on studies we've examined how many to take, I recommend one.
I think I heard that in the past. I think these people use it for pre-contest something. Yeah, I did hear about something about it helping to lose body fat, but like I said, I tried this supplement when I was young. I didn't see anything there really. It didn't do anything, man. Just a waste of money.
Working up to 0.2 milligrams per kilogram of body weight per day. That means that a 220-pound bodybuilder, you divide by 2.2 to get kilograms, so that's 100 kilograms,
Here's the thing.
would work up to...
This is from bark of a tree. You want to eat bark from a tree. Okay. Let's see if this shit's toxic.
According to ScienceDirect.com, overdose of Yohimbine can cause severe poisoning and even death. A single oral dose of 4 to 5 grams Yohimbine can cause severe acute poisoning. The concentration of 5,631 nanograms per milliliter in the deceased blood was turned out to be fatal. The oral bioavailability of Yohimbine is variable and possibly related to the health.
Oh, there you go. And they're selling this in health food stores as Yohimbine bark. Christ. And he says he's selling Yohimbine, HCl, like the crystalline part of it. So, yeah, man, can cause death, poisoning, severe poisoning, and death. Yeah, that's really what we want to know. Yeah, that's a great supplement there, Lobliner. Great. Yeah, okay. I'm on it right away, yeah, because I want to die faster than the last time.
A dose of 20 milligrams of Yohimbine HCl, or 8 capsules per day of my brand. My brand is 2.5.
What did it say there? He says 8 capsules a day. What did they say cause poisoning and death? Let me see. He says 8 capsules. They say 4 to 5 grams. A dose of 4 to 5 grams. He wants you to take 8 grams? Well, okay.
Per day of my brand. My brand is 2.5 milligrams, okay?
It's 2.5 milligrams, but he wants you to take 8 grams. 8 grams. It says 4 to 5 is enough to poison you and death.
Typically start this person at 1 capsule and work up towards the full dose each consecutive session. The person...
Again, remember, you are putting bark in your mouth. You are eating tree bark, dude. Hello.
Has no undesirable side effects. So if you're not getting weird side effects like weird anxiety or anything, then you...
You mean like you're not getting poisoned or dying from it? Then it's okay, right? Okay.
Keep working up to that max dose.
Sure, yeah.
So here's the thing. People say it doesn't work when you eat. See, insulin's not black and white.
Look, as far as I know, this supplement never worked. It never worked. And I heard it was dangerous. That's why they took it off the shelf. I'm surprised they're selling it again on the health food stores are selling it again. The shit's dangerous, man. That's as far as what I knew. I didn't even know I knew it caused some kind of poison. I didn't know it caused death, poisoning and death, because obviously poison, right? Plants kill you because they give you a disease. They give you cancer and then you die. And then you no longer eat them anymore. So plants poison you, so it works. Their poison works because You die. You get it. You get a disease. You die. So it worked. You're no longer eating them anymore. So just like this tree bark, they don't want you to eat their tree bark. They poison you. You die. It works.
Like, are you telling me that drinking 100 milligrams of dextrose is the same as having some sweet potatoes? No. So basically, it works best in the abundant without an abundance of insulin. That doesn't mean it doesn't work. So what I like to
Lobliner doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. He's insane. This guy is crazy.
do is if I'm doing cardio in the morning on an empty stomach or just with whey protein or something in my stomach, I like to do that. What
They would sell you any supplement if they could make a buck off you. Even if you did die from the supplement, he'd probably say, "Oh, I'm sorry. We didn't know this. We didn't know that. It was an accident." He'll probably send you a card and a couple of flowers that your loved one had passed away. This crap, bro.
thing you could do is if you do cardio post workout with 15 minutes left in your workout, let's say you're doing legs and calves. Right before you start calves, takes about 15 minutes. You take your Yohimbine. Okay, while you're training, finish your training, hit the cardio, that way it's in your system. And if you're training without taking an intra-workout carbs, a lot of people do that while dieting for a show or while dieting. They don't want that extra caloric intake during training. They'd rather save it for
Sure, they don't.
more micronutrient-rich foods during the day.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
You're good to go. So I really enjoy Yohimbine. I take it year-round.
I'm sure he does. Yeah, sure he does. He takes steroids all year round. Why would he take Yohimbine?
Not too concerned about timing and fat loss, but I take it for another benefit. So let's go into boners. Let's go into erections, okay? I like boners because I grew up in the 90s and we used to
He takes steroids, man. You telling me he's not getting any boners taking his stupid steroids? Give me a break.
call it boners, and I'm always
He grew up in the 90s? Man, I grew up in the 60s and 70s. Okay, whatever.
going to call it boners because that's what we call erections in my world. So I have read more studies on Yohimbine than I care to talk about. I have a list of probably 50, 60 studies that I could post at any time, and I might even post them down below if you want them. Hey, message me on Instagram. I'll gladly send them to you.
Yeah, but
So there is a study.
Yeah, but he won't tell you the one where it tells you it can poison you and cause death. That's the one he left out. Why? Because that's the one that will get you thinking and you won't buy the product.
On over 80 veterans, I believe, and they had erectile dysfunction.
Will you protect this house?
And they had erectile dysfunction. So with oral Yohimbine HCl daily, 14% of the patients experienced restoration or full sustained erections. 20% reported a partial response to therapy, and 65% reported no improvement. 3 patients reported positive placebo effect. So what we're noticing is that for many people, and this is with complete erectile dysfunction. I'm talking about Carrie Underwood in her prime, standing in front of you, nipple tassels and edible panties, and you can't get a boner. That's a terrible thing. Terrible thing.
Yeah, it's terrible.
So I look at this.
Yeah.
You had 3 from the placebo group. Okay, I think it working. I got a boner. Or maybe their wife put on some sexy lingerie that night. I don't know. So anyway, so you're looking at 14% of patients.
Yeah.
They had restoration complete, full erections, not partials. 20% had a partial response. That means that it was working a little bit, right? Like instead of no sex, they're at least able to hit it some of the time. And then we've all had that, maybe you drank too much or had too much caffeine, or maybe you're just tired and you just don't perform. It might have, I'm not going to admit to that happening to me. Maybe once or twice. But anyway, so think about it. If you're healthy and you have healthy erections, it's shown that it does something to actually revive a bad boner. This will only enhance a decent boner. Makes a decent boner good, and a good boner great. That's what I look at it.
It can enhance it, but I don't think it's going to cure anything there. You have to get the blood in there first of all to cause the constriction. So it's bullshit, man. It's not working. All right, whatever.
So it takes about 2 to 3 weeks to manifest itself. So it's a build-up effect, and I'll tell you why that happens. Yohimbine was active in some patients with arterial insufficiency, I'm reading from a study, and a unilateral sacral reflux arc lesion, and in one with low serum testosterone levels. The 34% response is encouraging, particularly in a Veterans Administration population presenting with high incidence of diabetes and vascular pathological conditions not found in regular office patients. Very few benign side effects were recorded, and there you go. So how is Yohimbine causing boners? I already discussed how it causes fat loss.
Yeah, it constricts blood in that area. That's what it does. Okay, and so what?
Or how it causes fat to be liberated because those alpha 2s, right? Let's
Right. That's what it says. Okay.
talk about why. Number one, same receptors. So the receptors that
Sure.
are responsible for preventing erections are blocked by Yohimbine. Number two, good old-fashioned nitric oxide. Cialis works through this pathway, and if you've ever, I'm not going to say I've ever done this, but when I know that my wife and I are going to partake in some of that, I'll generally take some MTS nutrition expansion or a non-stimulant pre-workout. It encourages nitric oxide because, again, like, even if you're already getting healthy boners, why wouldn't you want to get even?
Man, that's why they have Cialis and they have Viagra. You understand me? That's why they have that. If you have a problem with boners or whatever he's talking about. Jesus. Again, the Yohimbine, here's the thing, man. If you can't get an erection itself, it's not going to help you get an erection. You need blood to get in that area for it to constrict. And that could be dangerous because let's say once blood gets in there and it constricts and the blood doesn't leave, it stays there, you're in trouble. You understand me? You're in big trouble.
Better boners. That's like being too rich.
Okay.
You can't have too good of a boner. You obviously don't want it lasting over 4 hours. Well, it depends on circumstance.
Sure.
Like if you're Hugh Hefner, you got 20 blondes waiting for you, sure, 4-hour erection's great. But think about it. A lot of y'all who don't want to take Cialis every day, who don't want to take Viagra, who don't want to do all this and all that, having the increased blood flow to the organs and blood flow to the body, that's good. So Yohimbine, a lot of people say there's nasty side effects, but I got studies on unhealthy veterans getting boners and having no side effects. Pretty awesome, huh? I'm not saying there's not side effects. I've seen people get side effects. So I'm telling you, start with 1 cap, work your way up. So,
Well, you'll definitely see if they get poisoned and they die. That'd definitely be a side effect, won't it? That's the reason why they pulled it off the shelves. I don't know why they brought it back, but whatever, man.
we used to put Yohimbine in drop factor. The reason we stopped, we put 2.5 milligrams. What did we learn here, fellas?
What'd you learn?
One is some people do not handle Yohimbine well. And the other is that the dose is dependent on body weight. So, like, some people can't handle it, and you're going to have to add more anyway. Let's just get it out of here and replace it with even more awesome ingredients.
Okay.
I'll link down below the Drop Factor video. This is the greatest fat burner ever created right here. Drop Factor X. Yohimbine.
Yohimbine, yes.
What you do, you stack these two together. You got something to help liberate fat, period, burn more fat, help you keep losing fat as you diet, and you'll be good. So, another to be part of life, which is sex. Like, it's just
Okay.
just like the man. So if this increases erections in men due to blood flow and blocking receptors,
Yeah.
it can only help to heighten the sensitivity and the, well, just sexual quality down yonder in women while helping get rid of your fat ass and hips. All right, guys, that's the best, that's the most PG version I could do.
Anyways, I'm out of here. Tell me what you think about that. Like, subscribe, support the channel. Guy's crazy. I told you, they'll sell anything, these people, man. Desperation.